John is a spirit, and he promotes and encourages all of us to be more creative. He has that ability, which very few of us have.
He has his fabulous family story where his father was a designer, and I think that really inspired John to, become engaged in the community and become engaged in the city and look at the city in a different way through the lens of design.
John has a philosophy major early in his career, and then he went to architectural school at Princeton, and then later he was at Harvard in a graduate program and was a Loeb Scholar.
He had this wonderful track record in his career. He was also chairman of the Committee on Design for National AIA. He was president of the Graham Foundation. He's been involved in so many things, and we've just followed his life that way until OWP&P became a big part of his life.
John is just passionate about architecture and design, but he's also really passionate about sharing that knowledge with others, and that's really what he lives and breathes every day. And so he does that through the open studios where he's worked with young people at Canon and OWP&P, but also in the work that he does with so many of the nonprofits, both here in Chicago, whether it be ArchiWorks, his work with the Graham Foundation and with CAC, or nationally, his work with the American Architectural Foundation. He just wants to make sure that other people are as passionate about the subject matter as he is, and he really inspires others.
I think a lot of what John and others who he helped mentor and shape offered to the profession and to practices like Mass was legitimacy. Being a seasoned practitioner, saying that this is an important thing, carrying something like Open Hand Studio into a large 1,000-person firm when he became part of Canon Design became a significant signal to the community, and you can now count hundreds, I'm sure, of practices that have similar models and ethos that are still thriving.
He's had impact on so many projects, so many typologies, but so many teams and people, and I think that's really what resonates the strongest when you think of John for the Lifetime Achievement, is the impact he's made to the community and to the social well-being of people around us.
I'm not sure in many ways that I really truly understood what a civic leader was until I met and worked with John Syvertsen. I mean, he really embodies that role in a way that I personally have learned so much from, and I think organizations have benefited from so greatly.
He's this kind of aggregator, so he's always been, if there's a board to be involved with or something to volunteer for, John's name is always on the list. And because of that, he wants to make those connections between people who are doing great things kind of all around the city, bring them together and hopefully multiply the impact of what all those people are doing.
I kind of say he represents emotional intelligence and all this curiosity of promoting design, and has certainly been involved in many of the programs to help the city of Chicago.
You can still see the actual human handprint of his work in the young professionals that are practicing in Chicago and elsewhere today, who are representing a very different idea about what architecture can do.
For the profession, I would say that John is kind of the staunchest, most sincere and earnest advocate for the power that architecture has and the responsibility that we have to use our skills to make the world a better place.